20 things you didn't know about Naruto Uzumaki. After becoming Hokage, Naruto took on the nickname Konoha's Orange Hokage because his father was the Yellow Flash and his mother was the Red Hot-Blooded Habanero. Red and yellow equals orange. According to the databooks, Naruto's two favorite hobbies are pulling pranks and watering flowers. Unknowingly, Naruto picked up Minato's style of fighting, due to the fact that they were both trained by Jiraiya, and Naruto also likes to fight without using many hand seals, similar to Minato. According to Naruto's author Kishimoto, Boruto's resentment towards Naruto for not spending enough time with him and spending too much time working is a mirror reflection of how Kishimoto's kids felt on him spending too much time working on the manga. Also, according to Kishimoto, Naruto's childhood was based off a self-image of his own childhood. During the week of the last two chapters of Naruto being released, Eiichiro Oda, the creator of One Piece, created this cover art where it shows Luffy eating dinner with Naruto and has Nami wearing an outfit with Konoha's symbol. Every part of Naruto's name equals spiral or whirlpool. Naruto itself is short for Narutomaki, which is a processed fish cake and has a pink spiral pattern in the middle of it. Naruto is also the name of a set of real tidal whirlpools in the Naruto Strait, which is between Iwajai Island and Shikoku in Japan. Also, Uzumaki can mean whirlpool or maelstrom, and the Uzumaki clan symbol is a giant whirlpool, and the Uzumaki clan originally came from the land of whirlpools. A little known fact is that yes, Naruto's favorite food is ramen, but he has a secondary favorite food, which is red bean soup. In the original pilot of Naruto, the story was drastically different, as opposed to where Naruto, instead of having Kurama sealed inside of him, he is the son of Kurama. Naruto's birthday is actually created on October 10th, which falls on a Japanese holiday known as Health and Sports Day. Contrary to how it normally happens, Naruto is one of the only Jinchuriki to survive a tailed beast extraction, as to where normally the host dies. Naruto is also a very lightweight drinker. According to the 4th databook, it is said that Naruto cannot use Yin Release. This is contradicted though by the fact that he uses Yin Yang Release in order to wield the truth-seeking orbs, or Hagoromo's all-encompassing power. This is either a mistake in the databook author's part, or Naruto was able to achieve something that was supposed to be impossible. Also, according to the databooks, it is said that Naruto's stats are 120 in perception, 160 in dexterity, 170 in negotiations, 110 in strength, and 90 in intelligence, with his chakra numbers being unknown. He also scored a 5 out of 5 in evasion, a 4 out of 5 in unarmed hand-to-hand combat, and a 2 out of 5 in manners. Also, in an interview at the New York Comic-Con, it is revealed that Kishimoto's wife was not happy with Naruto's marriage choice and wanted him to end up with Sakura. Naruto's Ninja Academy grades were an A in Positivity, a B in Taijutsu, and an F in Ninjutsu, Genjutsu, Cooperation, and Classroom Attitude. Despite popular belief, Naruto is not the last remaining Uzumaki clan member. There are two others, Karin Uzumaki and Tsunade. While Tsunade does not share the same surname, her grandmother was Mito Uzumaki, so therefore she has Uzumaki running in her blood. Surprisingly, Naruto has completed very few actual official missions. He has completed 7 D rank, 1 C rank, 2 B rank, 6 A rank, and 0 S rank missions, for a grand total of 16 missions total. Another fun fact that Eiichiro Oda, the creator of One Piece, was originally going to name Sanji Naruto, but wanted to avoid confusion and quickly switched the name after he learned that Naruto was about to be serialized. Naruto's blood type is B. 14 things you didn't know about Itachi's girlfriend Izumi Uchiha. In the light novel version of Izumi's death, Itachi placed her under Tsukiyomi so she could have a full and happy life. In the Genjutsu dream, the two of them pursued their ninja careers together until the two got married and Izumi gave up her career to focus on being a mother. The two spent 70 years in wedded bliss until Izumi passed away from an illness as an old woman. She unlocked her Sharingan before Itachi did. In the light novel, she was the first Uchiha that Itachi eliminated. She was known to be very proficient at taijutsu and graduated from the Ninja Academy a year early. Her mother was part of the Uchiha clan, but her father was not, so therefore, part of her childhood she grew up outside of the clan until her father's passing. Itachi's dad Fugaku asked her to support Itachi through Shisui's passing since he could not. She shared Itachi's thoughts on trying to convince the clan to be against the coup d'etat. Despite having unlocked her Sharingan at such an early age, she could not handle using the Sharingan as it put a massive strain on her body and she would pass out whenever she used it. In the anime version of the story, she tried to defend Itachi from bullies who was picking on him for not wanting to play. Itachi and Izumi's first meeting were different from the anime compared to the light novel. In the light novel, they met during the Ninja Academy, whereas in the anime, they met during the Nine-Tailed Fox attack. Takashi Yano, the author of the Itachi Shinden light novel, is the actual creator of Izumi, not Kishimoto. However, Kishimoto did illustrate the light novel, which implies that he created Izumi's character design. Izumi shares Itachi's love for Dango. The reason Izumi wanted to become a ninja was because A, her father was a ninja, and B, the person she admired the most was also a ninja, aka Itachi. Contrary to the light novel where it was Itachi that got rid of Izumi, in the anime, it was Obito. 21 things you didn't know about the Naruto series. The toads in the series are all named after famous actors from the 1980s. Shima is named after Shima Iwashita, Gamabunta is named after Bunta Sugawara, and Gamaken is named after Ken Takakura. Due to Kishimoto's busy schedule, he didn't get to go on his honeymoon until after the series was over. Therefore, they didn't get to go on their honeymoon until a decade after they had been married. The techniques Kakuzu uses are named after Mobile Suit Gundam. Due to restrictions, the German dub of the Naruto series removed all blades. Therefore, for example, when Zabuza was standing on his sword, it looks like he was just floating in midair. Sasuke was named and had his backstory based after a really old-school manga also called Sasuke from the 1960s. In the original pilot of Naruto, it was actually going to be set in modern day, solving crimes. According to Kishimoto, the main trio's original outfits were based and inspired off of The Matrix. Originally, Kakashi was going to have the catchphrase of Gozaru, in which he was going to say that after every sentence, in reference to an old-school samurai feel. But the idea was ultimately scrapped by the manga's editor, who believed that the character would have more room for growth if he was not tied down to some little catchphrase. Kishimoto told Team 7's voice actors that Sasuke and Sakura would end up together even before the anime aired. The legendary Sannin, Orochimaru, Tsunade, and Jiraiya were actually based off an old Japanese book called The Ballad of the Hero Jiraiya. The iconic ninja headbands in the Naruto series were actually created to save time and energy, because it is much easier for an artist to reproduce a ninja headband as opposed to goggles or other headwear. Due to the time crunch of having monthly installments, Kishimoto has admitted that large parts of the manga and anime were created on the fly and not really thought out. Sasuke was mistakenly shown without his Rinnegan activated in the last Naruto the movie. Ichiraku Ramen is actually a real place in Japan. Located in Fukuoka, it was originally Masashi Kishimoto's favorite spot to frequent while he was in college. Some parts of the series were actually changed for the Western audience. During the American version of the show, Asuma's cigarettes were never really shown lit, whereas in the Japanese dubbing of it, they were. Also, Tazuna's liquor is taken away so that he's not drunk in the first time he appears on screen. Japan has its own Naruto musical that started airing in 2015. The X on Neji's forehead isn't an X in the manga. It was originally a manji symbol, which later got changed into the Nazi symbol, the swastika, but the original symbol was used for Buddhist practices long before the Nazi party commandeered it. There are many references in Naruto to the Dragon Ball Z series, including having a Chaozu mask in a mask shop, as well as having characters named Roshi and Son Goku. Due to Western censorship, Cartoon Network made the original English airing of Naruto change having Rock Lee drinking alcohol due to the fact of him being underage, and instead changed it to him consuming a potion. But in the original Japanese version, nothing is led to the imagination, and it is shown he is accidentally drinking sake. 15 things you didn't know about Hinata Hyuga. She invented 2 new jutsu, which are the Gentle Step Twin Line Fists, and in the anime, she also invented the Protecting 8 Trigrams 64 Palms. Hinata's name has 2 different meanings. It can either mean a place in the sun, or pure white lily, which is the flower that was left on Neji's grave after his passing. By the time Hinata fought against Toneri, she could see up to 20 kilometers away, or 12.42 miles. She is known as the legendary Queen of Gluttony and has the record at Ichiraku Ramen of eating 46 bowls in a row. During the fight against Toneri, she received some of Hamura Otsutsuki's chakra, similar to how Naruto and Sasuke received Hagoromo's. She is Masashi Kishimoto's favorite female character. In the academy, a rumor began that Sasuke liked long hair. Therefore, all of the other girls tried to grow their hair long, but inspired Hinata to keep hers short because her crush isn't Sasuke, it's Naruto. Kishimoto planned for Naruto and Hinata to get married since the very beginning, and the reason being is that Hinata is the first person to acknowledge Naruto, believing in him even before his teacher Iruka did. Both Boruto and Himawari's names reference the Hyuga clan in some way. Boruto and Neji don't sound very similar, but in the Japanese meaning, Boruto can mean as bolt, while Neji can mean screw. And as far as Himawari, if you read the kanji backwards, it can be read as Hyuga or Hinata. According to the databooks, the two people that she wants to fight against the most are a rematch against her cousin, Neji, and her father, Hayashi. Also, according to the databooks, her grades in the Ninja Academy were that she got A's in Taijutsu, Cooperation, and Classroom Attitude, B's in Genjutsu and Ninjutsu, and an F in Positivity. Also, according to official popularity polls by Shonen Jump, Hinata is ranked number 6 as the most popular character in Naruto. Hinata's favorite hobby is pressing flowers. And according to the databooks, Hinata's favorite foods are sweet things like cinnamon rolls and red bean soup with mochi, similar to Naruto, but she also does not like seafood, and her least favorite foods are shrimp and crab. She also hasn't completed very many missions, with 33 in total. This includes 10 D rank, 14 C rank, 8 B rank, and 1 A rank, and there has been no S rank missions. 15 facts you didn't know about Obito Uchiha. Back when he was pretending to be Toby, Kishimoto said that Toby was his favorite Akatsuki member to draw. Another fact that's usually overlooked is that Obito originally wanted to attack Konoha twice. He first attacked with the Nine Tails, but wanted to do another attack, but was eventually talked out of it by Itachi, who believed Obito was Madara. Itachi promised that if Obito left the rest of the village alone, he would carry out the revenge on the Uchiha clan that both Madara and Obito wanted. Even though he was only part of Konoha till the age of 13, he actually completed a lot of missions. He went on 86 D rank, 24 C rank, 24 B rank, 1 A rank, and 0 S rank missions. A lot of people think that the name Toby came from Obito's name, but that's actually not the true origin. The true origin is the fact that it came from a mutated human who was among the first victims of Kagyo Otsutsuki's Infinite Tsukiyomi. He was later released by Madara and used as one of his minions. Obito ended up calling him Guru Guru, an onomatopoeia that means going around in circles, and the name stuck. Toby, now named Guru Guru, ended up attaching to Obito's body in order to protect him, guide him according to Madara's will, and give him access to Hashirama's cells. His spiral pattern face would later be the inspiration for Toby's mask, and his old name would become Obito's new one. Obito's mask appears in episode 129 of Naruto Shippuden at a festival, along with Baki's face and Haku's mask as well. As most people know, using the Mangekyo Sharingan puts a massive strain on the user's body unless they have the Eternal Mangekyo Sharingan, in which case Obito seemingly is able to use his Kamui whenever he feels like with no ill effects at all, even though he never attained the Eternal Mangekyo Sharingan. There's many theories about this, but nothing is officially confirmed, but my theory is the fact that it's because he has Hashirama cells implanted in him. This weapon known as the Gunbai, which is used by both Obito and Madara, is actually part of real Japanese history, in which the samurai officers used this not to fight, but to communicate with the troops under their command. Unlike a lot of Naruto characters, Kishimoto actually planned on Obito being a thing since the very beginning, and he had many cameos prior to him actually being revealed in the series. For example, in chapter 16 of the manga, he's seen in a photograph of Team Minato, and in chapter 122 of the manga and episode 72 of the anime, the third Hokage thinks about him. There is no official confirmation, but there is speculation that Obito is one of Madara's direct descendants. When they first meet each other, Obito calls Madara my honorable forefather, or Ore no Gosenzo, which implies an unbroken genetic line. Little is known about Obito's deceased parents, but according to a cameo with his grandmother, she says that he is exactly like them. Obito altogether had 4 Kekkei Genkai, being the Sharingan, the Mangekyo Sharingan, the Rinnegan, and the Wood Release. And you could say that Sharingan and Mangekyo Sharingan are the same, but either way, he still has 3, which is a lot. Also, the name Toby has a referential link to Team Taka, as Toby can be translated as kite, and Taka is called hawk, and there is a Japanese proverb known as a hawk born from a kite, which means that a talented child, the hawk, can come from parents with no special abilities, the kite. And yes, Obito is not Sasuke's parent, but he is an older relative. On an accidental oversight, the databooks actually do not mention the fact that Obito was able to use 6-Path Senjutsu or Yang release, even though he clearly could as the Ten-Tails Jinchuriki. Another major inconsistency is Obito's height, because in the third databook, Toby's height is listed as 175 centimeters or approximately 5'7", but then later in the fourth databook, Obito Uchiha is released as 182 centimeters or approximately 5'9", and then later after that, Studio Pierrot says his final adult height is 180 centimeters. Another confusing fact is that the video games constantly have him using fire-style jutsu. While this does make sense, being the fact that he is part of the Uchiha clan and that is their specialty, it always has him using the fire style in the Toby mask, which using a mask should be a cover for the fire, but somehow he's able to breathe fire through the mask. Kakashi is also able to do this. 20 things you didn't know about jutsu in Naruto. Gaara's sand smells like blood. Rasen Shuriken is one of the most destructive jutsu in existence, because not only does it obviously deal physical damage, but it actually rips apart the target on a cellular level, permanently destroying their chakra pathways in ways that medical jutsu cannot heal it. So anyone that is able to survive this attack would not be able to even use jutsu ever again. Another fact is that Minato incorporated his Flying Thunder God technique into his wife Kushina's tailed beast seal, so anytime there was any sort of danger, he could instantly teleport to her side. Also, the Hyuga clan fighting style, the Gentle Fist, is actually based off two real-life fighting styles. The first is the Baguao Zhang, which is a Chinese fighting style that focuses on circular motions and momentum, and the second being the Touch of Death, which involves causing extreme damage by targeting specific pressure points in the body. Another fun fact is that the Shadow Possession Jutsu was not actually created for battle. It was originally created in order to keep deer still so they could be hunted for their antlers. The name Chidori is actually inspired by a real-life myth about a samurai named Tachibana Dosetsu. In this folklore, he owned a sword named Chidori, which he used to survive being struck by lightning. He did this by cutting the thunder god from the inside of the lightning bolt, and after that, he changed his sword's name to Lightning Cutter, or Raikiri. During an interview, someone asked Kishimoto the question, what happens when a Byakugan user and a Sharingan user have a baby? And he answered saying the child would be born with one Byakugan and one Sharingan, rather than a new dojutsu that combines the two. As many people know, most dojutsu require eye contact in order to be able to work, but Shisui's Koto Matsukami is so powerful that he is able to cast the genjutsu even without eye contact, and this is proven when Danzo uses it against Mifune without taking the bandages off of his right eye. Many of the Uchiha clan jutsu are named after real-life Shinto gods. The two creator deities of the Shinto gods, Izanagi and Izanami, have a sun goddess daughter named Amaterasu. Amaterasu was once married to the moon god, Tsukiyomi no Mikoto. Meanwhile, Susanoo reigns over the sea in storms. When Minato created the Rasengan, he based it off the signature Tailed Beast Bomb, in the sense that they are both condensed balls of chakra that they use to strike the target. The One's Own Life reincarnation jutsu was not originally created to heal people, it was created to bring puppets to life. While it is known that Hashirama had great regenerative abilities, it is not known whether or not this is connected to his wood release or not. Although, anytime there has been a replication of his wood release jutsu by aka adding Hashirama cells to a different host, they also tend to gain regenerative abilities, even to the point where some of them have stopped needing food or water to survive. It is not known though whether Hashirama also didn't need water or food to survive. Also, while it is known that Kekkei Genkai is a massive thing in the Naruto universe, not many people know the fact of how it exists. Kekkei Genkai exists when you combine two different forms of nature-released chakra. This forms the Kekkei Genkai. But there is another category known as the Kekkei Tota, and there is only one example of this in the Naruto universe. A Kekkei Tota is when you combine three forms of nature release, and the only example is the dust release, which combines earth, wind, and fire to create a cube or three-dimensional object that diminishes anything inside of it. Another fun fact is that Tsunade's strength of 100 sealed jutsu is actually way more dangerous than people realize. The way the jutsu works is that she is constantly storing chakra in the little purple diamond on her forehead, and then she unleashes it in a burst of power whenever she feels like. But the thing is about doing that, storing that much chakra is wildly dangerous for ninja in combat because most people don't have enough chakra left over for everyday jutsu. Tsunade can do it because she has Uzumaki DNA inside of her, which gives her massive chakra stores. But when Sakura learned how to do that, she had to find a workaround, and they figured out a way where Sakura can divert a portion of her chakra back into her system, so she is able to fight despite practically running on empty chakra otherwise. Also, Sasuke's jutsu Kirin is actually based off a mythical creature. Kirin is a gentle being who appears in areas that are led by someone who is wise and kind. Its voice sounds like musical scales, and it's capable of walking on blades of grass without damaging them. It can live for over 1,000 years and is considered one of the most divine creatures of all time, even more than a dragon, and hurting one or even coming across its body is bad luck, and it's been known to severely punish human wrongdoings. In the manga, Kimimoto's Bone Kekkei Genkai is actually way more gory than it is in the anime. As we know, in the anime, holes just open up so his bones can come out, but in the manga, his bones rip through his skin and make him bleed. According to Shino, the main villain of Naruto Shippuden the movie Bonds, it is actually possible to perform the 8 gates technique without causing harm to the body. He does this by using the body revival technique, which can heal himself constantly with dark chakra, negating any of the bad side effects of the 8 gates technique. And I feel like pretty much anyone that has regenerative abilities, aka Tsunade, Sakura, or Hashirama, might be able to do the same thing. A massive plot hole in Naruto is that way back in the beginning, it is said in the manga that it is impossible to throw the Rasengan because once the user lets go of it, they stop channeling chakra into it. But of course, as we all know, this kind of just gets retconned as people are now constantly throwing it with Boruto or Naruto using Rasen Shuriken. And speaking of Boruto, there is actually a change between the summoning jutsu in Naruto versus Boruto. In Naruto, using the summoning jutsu without a signed contract will result in being teleported to that animal's location. But in Boruto, if you try to do that exact same thing, literally nothing will happen. 20 things you didn't know about Jiraiya. He has completed more official missions than any other character in the series, with a total of 1,839 missions, breaking down to 58 D rank, 345 C rank, 684 B rank, 614 A rank, and 138 S rank. In the official databooks, he is tied with Itachi for the highest scores in the series, both scoring a total of 35.5 out of 40, breaking down as 5 in ninjutsu, 4.5 in taijutsu, 3 in genjutsu, 4.5 intelligence, 4.5 strength, 4.5 speed, 5 stamina, and 4.5 hand seals. He graduated from the Ninja Academy and became a genin at only 6 years old. A lot of people have speculated as to why Jiraiya was not brought back with the Edo Tensei during the war, but according to Kishimoto, the main reason is because his passing was such an important moment for the series that he didn't want to do anything that might cheapen it. Jiraiya's last words, "A frog in a well does not know the great ocean," is actually based off a Chinese proverb. His bond with Naruto is Kishimoto's favorite teacher-student relationship. Kishimoto has stated that if he were to ever retell the Naruto story from another character's perspective, he would choose Jiraiya. 2 of Jiraiya's novels, The Tale of the Utterly Gutsy Ninja and The Tale of the Utterly Pure-Hearted Shinobi, are actually published in real life. Jiraiya, as well as all of the other legendary Sannin, are based off Japanese folklore characters. During a 2015 New York Comic-Con event, Kishimoto actually was asked to draw Jiraiya, but forgot how to, so he used a Jiraiya cosplayer as reference. During an interview at that same Comic-Con, he cited Jiraiya to be his favorite character. Also, his voice actors have very prolific careers. His Japanese voice actor also dubs Sato from Ajin and Sokonji Orokodaki from Demon Slayer, and his English dubbed voice actor plays Kenpachi Zaraki from Bleach and Puppetmon from Digimon Adventure. Also, based on this picture, some people theorize that Jiraiya trained Teuchi, the ramen shop owner of Ichiraku Ramen. The translation for his name either means Young Thunder or Young Lightning. According to the databooks, the person he wanted to fight the most was his student, Naruto Uzumaki. His original character design was too convoluted and complicated and ended up getting scrapped, but Kishimoto did take some of the references and later on put them into Sage Mode. His favorite foods are karage, Japanese fried chicken, and garlic pickled with Japanese basil. He's not a fan of kiwis or any form of gratin. Although it is not officially said in the manga or the databooks as far as Jiraiya's ranking as a ninja, it is said in the anime that he is a Jonin level shinobi. His character design was inspired by Japanese kabuki. His blood type is B. 15 things you didn't know about Hiruzen Sarutobi. He is the only Hokage to participate in all 4 shinobi wars. His son and Konohamaru's father was a member of the Anbu Black Ops. According to the databooks, his stats are a 5 in ninjutsu, 5 in taijutsu, 5 in genjutsu, 5 in intelligence, 3 in strength, 3 in speed, 3 in stamina, 5 in hand seals, for a total of 34. His wife, Biwako, was a skilled medical ninja who specialized in midwifery and was the midwife for Kushina. During his final fight with Orochimaru, his carving of his face on the Hokage rock sustains a large crack, due to the fact of symbolizing his ultimate fate. Originally, when designing the Hokage, Kishimoto wanted the 3rd Hokage to not be human. Instead, he wanted him to be a dog, but ultimately scrapped this idea as being a bit silly. He once told Orochimaru that nobody cared about the answer to a scientific question that Orochimaru asked, which in turn could have led Orochimaru on a different path if he had answered sincerely. He felt personally responsible for Orochimaru and Danzo's crimes. Some aspects of his character were inspired by Journey to the West, especially Monkey King Enma. In an omake at the end of Naruto Shippuden episode 129, Hiruzen's ghost shows up to terrify Naruto and Sasuke. According to the databooks, if he could fight anyone in the world, he wanted to fight his grandson, Konohamaru. Of course, he wanted to fight the adult version of him. His name is based off Japanese folklore, as his father, Sasuke Sarutobi, was named after a fictional ninja in Japanese folklore. His favorite foods are hajiki, which is a sea vegetable that's common in Japanese cuisine, and also, ironically, is the same favorite food of Danzo, his rival. He also likes sardine fish balls, and on the other hand, he does not like naruzuke, a dish consisting of fish and vegetables pickled in sake yeast. He was also kind of a perv, and according to the databooks, it says that his hobby was chatting up with young girls. His voice actor, Hidekatsu Shibata, went to school with the Japanese Prime Minister. 15 things you didn't know about Hidan and Kakuzu. Kakuzu has a very grim backstory in the sense that Kakuzu's village, Takigakur, sent him on a mission to assassinate Hashirama Senju, the first Hokage, but when he failed, he wasn't just disgraced, he was thrown in prison. Furious by this, he took revenge on the village elders and stole a bunch of their forbidden techniques. One of those techniques being able to steal people's hearts and use them to enhance his fighting ability, in which he used this technique to nab several hearts of random villagers that had nothing to do with his imprisonment. Kakuzu's symbols on his arms have meaning in Japanese history, as during the Edo period of Japan, criminals would receive tattoos that signaled that they were in prison. So, this is very fitting due to the fact that he was imprisoned after failing to assassinate the first Hokage. According to the databook, Kakuzu's favorite saying is, "If you are prepared, there won't be any sorrow." And Hidan's favorite sayings are massacre and Jashinism. Both of their names derive from shogi, which is symbolic due to the fact that their main antagonists in the series were Asuma and Shikamaru. Kakuzu is the oldest shinobi with a known age, being that he was 91 years old before he died. Hidan's design was meant to symbolize a Shinigami, or a Japanese death god. Hidan is the only member of the Akatsuki to have not met Naruto. Hidan and Kakuzu are partners for a reason due to the fact that Kakuzu has had many partners before him, but he found them so annoying that he ends up killing them, which made Hidan a perfect match due to the fact that Hidan is immortal, so Kakuzu can't kill him. According to the databooks, their stats are respectively: Hidan is a 5 in ninjutsu, 4.5 in taijutsu, 3 in genjutsu, 3 in intelligence, 4 in strength, 3.5 speed, 5 in stamina, 3.5 in hand seals, for a total of 31.5. And Kakuzu is a 5 in ninjutsu, 4 in taijutsu, 3 in genjutsu, 4.5 in intelligence, 4 in strength, 4 in speed, 4.5 in stamina, and 3.5 in hand seals, for a total of 32.5. While it is never confirmed, people speculate that Hidan's immortality was due to the fact of ritual sacrifices. According to the databooks, if you were to ask Hidan or Kakuzu who they want to fight the most, they wouldn't cite individual people, they would cite a broad category of people. Hidan would say heretics, who are not Joshinists, and Kakuzu would just say whoever has the biggest bounty. If they don't have one, it's not worth his time. Kakuzu may have been inspired by Kuchisake Onna, who is known as the Slitted-Mouth Woman, a mythological figure in Japanese folklore. According to the databooks, Hidan's favorite hobby is just quite literally Joshinistic activities, and Kakuzu's favorite hobby is reading rare old books. As stated earlier in this video, Kishimoto has cited that many of Kakuzu's techniques are based off Mobile Suit Gundam. Kakuzu's favorite foods are sashimi and monkfish liver, and he has no interest in chestnut jelly, but he's also stated that his favorite food really is whatever is cheapest. Meanwhile, Hidan's favorite foods are spare ribs, and he hates vegetables. Also, he hates devotion cuisine, which is a special diet ran in Buddhism. 15 things you didn't know about Shikamaru Nara. Shikamaru's chakra nature is yin release. The reason he has his headband on his arm instead of his forehead is because his hair, ponytail style, marks him as a member of the Nara clan, and he doesn't want to dilute that. He doesn't have a character that he wants to fight the most, as he finds fighting rather troublesome and rather would just avoid it. He repeated his parents' relationship dynamic with Tamari. The name Nara is actually a real city in the Honshu prefecture of Japan and is known for an abundance of deer. According to the Boruto databooks, his stats are 115 strength, 130 negotiation, 100 chakra, 210 intelligence, 160 perception, and 133 dexterity, which is a bit hard to compare since this is a drastically different number system in comparison to the other statistics. He also received star ratings where he got a 5-star in intelligence gathering and a 6-star in observation. He has completed a total of 39 official missions broken down as 8 D rank, 3 C rank, 9 B rank, 19 A rank, and 0 S rank. Shikamaru picks up the habit of smoking after his sensei Asuma passes away, 1 to deal with the grief of his sensei passing away, and 2 to keep his sensei's spirit alive, as Asuma was also known to be a smoker. Shikamaru's birthday is September 22nd, which is the day before Ino's birthday as well as Shikadai's birthday, as Ino and Shikadai both share the same birthday of September 23rd. In an interview, Kishimoto once stated that he would date Shikamaru. His Ninja Academy grades were as follows. He had a B in Ninjutsu and Cooperation, a C in Taijutsu, Genjutsu, and Positivity, and an F in Classroom Attitude. His favorite catchphrase is Mendokuse, which can be translated to how troublesome or what a drag. His favorite food is mackerel cooked in miso and sukonbu, which is kelp flavored with vinegar. On the other hand, his least favorite food is boiled eggs. His favorite hobby is taking on strong opponents in shogi. His other favorite hobby is taking naps. 15 things you didn't know about the Hidden Leaf Village. As stated before, there is a real-life Ichiraku ramen shop in Japan in Fukuoka. The village has 4 noble clans, being the Akamichi, the Aburame, the Uchiha, and the Hyuga. Whenever a new Hokage is elected, they carve this face into the Hokage rock, but no matter how many faces are added to the rock, the Hokage's office is always directly underneath the middle. This implies that the Hokage rocks are being moved by Earth-style jutsu. Fire-style release is the most common release in Konoha. Madara was the one that named the village the Hidden Leaf Village. The Hidden Leaf Village is not the only place in the Land of Fire that produces ninja. There are ninja all over the Land of Fire, one great example of this being the Fire Temple, which produces ninja monks. When Pain attacked the village, only 1 tree survived the assault. In Konoha, smoking isn't permitted in public areas. We don't really think about it, but the Ninja Academy actually charges people for students to attend. Konoha has the largest population out of any of the other villages. Due to the fact of having Tori gates at the entrance of Konoha, it is symbolized that Konoha is supposed to be a sacred place. Konoha is loosely based off Kishimoto's hometown. The Will of Fire is an important philosophical value that binds Konoha together as a nation. A little Easter egg is that Lightning Burger, a fast food joint in Konoha in the Boruto series, sells Narutonic water. Also, a little known fact is that the Hokage's office is actually at the Ninja Academy. 15 things you didn't know about Team Asuma. Asuma and his father, the 3rd Hokage, both passed away during the 80th episode of their season. Asuma's name means true tomorrow. Every single member of Team 10 has a name with an animal-based meaning. Asuma's last name, Sarutobi, means monkey jump. Choji's kanji means butterfly. Ino is short for Inoshishi, which means boar, and Shika in Shikamaru's name is translated to deer. Ino Shika Cho is actually a reference to a Japanese card game called Hanafuda. Asuma has a bounty of 35 million ryo. Shikamaru has an IQ of over 200, and for reference, the person with the highest IQ recorded in human history in the real world clocks in at 228. So, Shikamaru is a super genius. Choji is one of Kishimoto's favorite characters along with Jiraiya and Killer Bee. The thing that Ino treasured the most was the flower that she gave Sakura when they were children. Despite being a full-time ninja, Ino also has a part-time job of running her family's flower shop. Between the second and third data books, Choji's hand seal score drops by half a point. The Sarutobi clan has a tradition with the Ino Shikacho trio in which they give the trio a set of silver earrings, and these earrings, which belong to the previous generation, are meant to symbolize an oath of loyalty and protection that the clans swear to one another. Then, they return the earrings when they become Chunin, as it is assumed that they no longer require a reminder of the oath. Choji is based off a Japanese folklore character who was known for being able to eat an excessive amount of food. Choji is afraid of lizards. Ino also studied some medical ninjutsu under Tsunade. 15 things you didn't know about Yamato. Anytime a building gets destroyed in Konoha, they rely on him to rebuild it. Yamato received his wood release abilities due to Orochimaru's experimentation, but eventually escaped Orochimaru's lab by himself. Yamato takes official rank and status very seriously. He has completed a total of 996 missions, including 80 D rank, 176 C rank, 400 B rank, 305 A rank, and 35 S rank missions. The person he wants to fight the most is Kakashi. His stats are 4.5 ninjutsu, 4 taijutsu, 3.5 genjutsu, 4.5 intelligence, 3.5 strength, 4 speed, 3.5 stamina, and 3.5 hand seals for a total of 31. His favorite phrase is knocking on a stone bridge before crossing it. It's a running gag in the animated series that he gets attacked in his sleep. He succumbs to motion sickness very easily. Under Root, his name was Kinoi, while under the Anbu, his name was Tenzo and then Yamato, but no one knows, including himself, his actual real name. His favorite food is walnuts, and he doesn't like greasy food. The name Yamato is an older name for Japan itself. His favorite hobby is reading about architecture. Across the Japanese and English dub, he has 5 different voice actors. He became a Chunin at 6 years old. 15 things you didn't know about Team Taka. Karin keeps a blade in her glasses. Karin's mother lost her life to the family's jutsu due to healing too many people simultaneously. Karin's backstory is different between the anime and the manga. In the anime, Orochimaru rescues her from when people are trying to kidnap her due to her Uzumaki blood, while in the manga, it is said that Karin meets Orochimaru after her village is burned to the ground. Karin helped deliver Sarada. Due to the fact of being able to turn his entire body into water, Soigetsu always needs constant hydration. Everybody on Team Taka is color coordinated. Jugo, Karin, and Sasuke all have their eyes match their hair color. Soigetsu's hair doesn't match his eye color, but his eyes do match his shirt color. The kanji of Jugo's name means heavy or severe and oneself. Soigetsu's name means water moon. The kanji of Karin's name means fragrance or perfume. Jugo's favorite hobby is spending time in the forest, also known as forest bathing. According to Kishimoto, it was always intended from the beginning that Sasuke and Sakura would get married together, so Karin and Sasuke were never going to be a thing. Karin at one point tried to steal Sasuke's toothbrush. In the Naruto video game, Soigetsu is one of the 7 swordsmen of the mist. The anime showed the powers of Team Taka earlier on than the manga did. 13 things you didn't know about Zetsu. White Zetsu is possibly based off of a mandrake. Obito named White Zetsu's clone. Zetsu is one of the few characters in Naruto to have retained his early design concept. Kishimoto has stated that he made the design choice of having black and white because he wanted to show that they had a split personality. According to the databooks, White Zetsu is considered a mutated human, while Black Zetsu is considered an artificial human. The translation for Zetsu is tongue. Zetsu's favorite food is humans. The databooks do not list any Kekkei Genkai or Kekkei Mora amongst Zetsu's abilities, even though he has shown to be able to possess various people and harness their abilities, as well as use wood-release jutsu thanks to Hashirama cells. While it is known that Zetsu has the technique known as Substitute, which allows him to copy a target's clothing, chakra signatures, jutsu, voice, mannerisms, and many other things, it is not clearly stated, but is possible that he can also copy their Kekkei Genkai. According to the databooks, he wants to fight people that will leave behind a delicious and chewy corpse the most. His favorite phrase is independence unbetting. His favorite hobby is observing unique shinobi. White Zetsu is usually depicted as a Venus flytrap-like extensions, but for some reason when he is defeated by Sasuke in both the anime and the manga, they are not anywhere to be found. 15 things you didn't know about ninja villages in Naruto. Kirigakure has no ninja registration system. The same woman has crafted every single Hokage Haori from Hashirama to Naruto. At one point, there were multiple anti-Kazekage factions in Tsunagakure that were against Gaara being the Kazekage. Uzushio Gakure was destroyed during Kushina's lifetime, and this was originally her home village. During the Chunin exams, Ame Gakure sent 21 genin to participate. The Uchiha clan has some distant relatives in the form of the Fuma clan, who may have originally resided in Ame Gakure, as one of the vassals of Pain was from the Fuma clan. They now are part of the Konoha military police, which originally was controlled by the Uchiha clan. Back in the 1500s, there was a real Kumo Gakure in Japan, but it wasn't a village, it was a school that trained ninja. As far as Kage go, each village has a different way of choosing its leader. In Konoha, the next Hokage is chosen by the previous one. In Tsunagakure, the Kazekage is chosen based on bloodline, and in Kirigakure, the position is filled by the strongest ninja. In the early days, most fights between Iwagakure and Konoha were won by Iwagakure due to the Kamizuri clan, who specialized in bee-related techniques. Eventually, they were defeated when they tried to invade Konoha and encountered the Aburame clan and their Kikaichu techniques. The Hyuga clan has a brutal training regimen which requires its members to spar 1,000 times in a row. According to Tsunagakure myth, it has apparently been stated that at one point the village did not have a sunken appearance, although it is unknown what the village looked like prior to what it does now. It is Konoha tradition that new genin get their first mission directly from the Hokage. Kirigakure is named after a real-life person named Saizo Kirigakure, who is a ninja from a legendary group called the Sanada 10 Braves during the Japanese Warring States period. Tsunagakure has farmland in Konoha. 17 things you didn't know about family clans in Naruto. The Nara clan was named for Japan's former capital. The Inuzuka clan has separate naming schemes for dogs and humans. The humans in the clan are named after dog body parts, such as fang or claw. Meanwhile, the ninja dogs are named after colors. The Uzumaki and the Senju clans have deep blood ties with each other as they are both distant relatives, both descending from Ashura Otsutsuki, and have been marrying each other ever since. So every Senju and every Uzumaki are very distant relatives, but some are more closely directly related, for example being Tsunade, who is the granddaughter of Hashirama Senju and Mito Uzumaki. The Uchiha clan is known for displaying their clan symbol proudly on the back of their attire, so much so that during the warring times at one point they refused to wear back armor as they didn't want to cover up their symbol. Every clan has different religious practices. As far as the Uchiha clan, they worshipped at the Naka Shrine, which also served as a secret meeting place for the clan, as well as holding various different secrets that can only be read by the Sharingan. The Nara clan runs a research facility that specializes in important medicines and has a massive medical encyclopedia. While it is not known why this is the case, Hashirama is the only Senju member who can use wood release. According to Kiba, the reason Sume is a single mother is because she scared her husband away. The Lee clan follows Western naming order. Traditionally in Japan, the person's surname comes first and then the given name second. Example being, when you're introducing yourself, you would say Uzumaki Naruto or Uzumaki Boruto. But for the Lee clan, both Rock Lee and Metal Lee have their surname second and their given name first. According to the Boruto series, not every Hyuga clan member can use the Byakugan's powers. Sasuke was named after a member of the Sarutobi clan, Hiruzen's father, Sasuke Sarutobi. The Otsutsuki clan's horns are meant to resemble rabbit ears. While known for their main type of bug, the Kikaichu, which feeds off people's chakra, the Aburame clan uses a multitude of different kinds of bugs that specialize in different things, such as being highly poisonous or seeking out chakra signatures. Most of the Otsutsuki clan members are named after figures in Japanese folklore. In the interest of preserving their new peaceful era, Kirigakure has purged any record of the Karatachi family from war memorials, including Yagura. 20 things you didn't know about Orochimaru. Originally, the Sound Village was a fake ninja village that solely consisted of experiment victims of Orochimaru, but after he decided to become good, he ended up turning it into an actual village that trains its own ninja. He has completed a total of 1,468 official missions, including 16 D rank, 332 C rank, 521 B rank, 491 A rank, and 108 S rank missions. His Akatsuki position could never be replaced because of reasons that were never really explained by Kishimoto. The rings were an essential part of being an Akatsuki member, and Orochimaru left with his ring, so he could never officially be replaced, leaving the organization permanently one person smaller. Orochimaru was not originally Kishimoto's idea, it was his editor's. He was inspired by the Japanese mythical character known as Yamada no Orochi. Originally, Kishimoto wanted Orochimaru to be androgynous and flamboyant. Orochimaru does have a surname, as when he went to his parents' grave we got a quick glimpse of their names showing that there are two names etched onto them. Therefore, he does have a surname, he just probably chose not to use it. His favorite food is eggs, and his least favorite foods are anything cold. Through experimentation, Orochimaru is able to use wood release techniques, which is a Kekkei Genkai, but the data books have left this out and said that Orochimaru does not have a Kekkei Genkai. His blood type is B, along with the other legendary Sannin. He was also inspired by the character Orochimaru in the Japanese novel The Tale of the Gallant Jiraiya. He is weirdly shown as comedic relief during the episode The Perfect Day for a Wedding in the Naruto Shippuden filler arc. Even though we've been using he/him pronouns, theoretically, Orochimaru is non-binary due to the fact he has inhabited both male and female bodies. His voice actor in the English dub has also voiced characters such as Inoki, Aoi, Zabuza, Chome, Juzo, Hamura, and Sazanami. He could still theoretically be evil. While he does show a quote-unquote good side in the Boruto series, in an interview in 2007, Kishimoto did say that Orochimaru was truly evil and one of the few hopelessly evil characters to appear in the series. Between Naruto and Boruto, he has lost over 14 pounds, being 140 pounds in the Naruto series and 126 pounds in the Boruto series. He is the strongest member of the legendary Sannin. He created Mecha Naruto. He originally joined the Akatsuki because he was after Pain's Rinnegan and Itachi's Sharingan, but after he failed to achieve either of these, he left and was declared a traitor. His height is 179.5 centimeters. 15 things you didn't know about Minato Namikaze. He has completed a total of 847 official missions, including 122 D rank, 147 C rank, 216 B rank, 323 A rank, and 39 S rank missions. Originally, Minato wasn't going to play a major role in the story, but after Kishimoto became a father himself, he realized how important the parent-child bond was, so he made Minato a bigger part of the story. Minato not only had the best grades in the history of the Ninja Academy, but he also has the highest score in the Chunin exam history. Minato and Kushina's names come from Japanese mythology, from the story of Yamata no Orochi, where there is a princess named Kushina Dahime, and then Minato's surname means waves and wind, and Susanoo is the god of sea and storms, which is also part of the Yamata no Orochi story. Kushina is the reason Minato knows sealing jutsu. Minato's name has a nice meaning, as Minato means harbor, while Namikaze means waves and wind. During the Naruto Shippuden the movie The Lost Tower, Minato had the ability to erase memories with the memory-erasing seal jutsu. In a 2009 interview, Kishimoto expressed the desire to create a spin-off series starring Minato as a young person. He has been said to possibly be ambidextrous. Kushina treats Minato differently than her other opponents in Naruto Shippuden Ultimate Ninja Storm 4, whereas most of the time when she's fighting someone, she goes full red hot habanero against her adversaries. But when she's fighting Minato, things are different, as if she's about to waste him, he then scolds her, she blushes, and hits him with a light slap instead. Minato modeled the Rasengan after the Tailed Beast Bomb, possibly in hopes that Naruto would someday use it, as Minato sealed the Nine Tails in Naruto's body and that he hoped he'd be able to learn a certain technique. He appears in the music video of Bluebird as a silhouette. In Naruto Shippuden the movie The Lost Tower, his Rasengan and chakra appear light green instead of blue. He has a cameo during the Hidden Leaf Village Grand Sports Festival filler episode OVA. Originally, Kishimoto didn't intend for Naruto's father to be the 4th Hokage, instead he wanted the role to be filled by a dog, but his editors were against the idea and eventually convinced him out of it. 15 things you didn't know about the 7 swordsmen of the Hidden Mist. Every member of the 7 swordsmen has sharp, jagged teeth. Every member has the word for a type of produce somewhere in their name, the only exception being Raiga Kurosuke. Zabuza's demise may have been inspired by real-life legend Benkei. 2 of the members were former Anbu members, being Raiga and Zabuza. In a filler episode, it is revealed that Kisame is actually insecure about his blue skin. The Seven Swordsmen have such a powerful reputation in the Hidden Mist village that just about every resident of the village dreams of one day joining them and all start learning Kenjutsu at an early childhood. While all of the members have their own unique jutsu, they also do share one technique in common, being the silent killing technique. 4 members of the Seven Swordsmen decided to defect from the Hidden Mist, being Zabuza, Juzo, Raiga, and Kisame. Even though he mainly only used his one sword, the Hiramekereya, Mangetsu was actually a master of all 7 of the swords. Raiga Kurosuke debuted in the anime before appearing in the manga. 3 members of the Seven Swordsmen faked their own deaths, aka Zabuza, Kisame, and Raiga all did so in order to leave the Hidden Mist village without being confronted. Jinpachi and Kushimaru were known as the Heartless Pair because of the sheer delight they took in mercilessly killing their foes. Even though he had long since died, Zabuza had 2 cameo appearances in filler episodes of Naruto in Naruto Shippuden Episode 129 and Naruto Shippuden Episode 183. Ironically, Kisame is a Pisces. In Boruto, there is a self-proclaimed Seven Swordsmen of the Mist, but were ultimately disbanded. 15 things you didn't know about Gaara. His secondary design in Shippuden was based off of the Matrix. He is the youngest Kage ever at only age 15. His favorite foods are gizzards and salted tongue, and he doesn't like sugary foods. His favorite hobby is taking care of cactuses. He has completed very few missions in the sense that he has completed 0 D rank, 9 C rank, 8 B rank, 14 A rank, and 3 S rank missions. At one point, he was almost part of an arranged marriage to a woman named Hakuto. Shikaku's previous Jinchuriki predicted Gaara. Him and Naruto have way more in common than people think, such as their tragic backstories. Both of them have the same height and weight by Shippuden, both of them have wind-released chakra natures, both of them are the sons of the 4th Kage of their nation, and both had mothers who passed away shortly after their birth. According to the databooks, Gaara's favorite phrases are love for oneself, affection, and future. Gaara's uncle Yashimaru looks exactly like his sister Karua, who is Gaara's mother obviously, and in some translations of the series, he is actually depicted as his aunt instead of uncle, including the Brazilian, Dutch, French, German, Italian, Polish, and Portuguese translations, but in the Japanese version, he's definitely a guy. Gaara's name means self-loving demon. Gaara's first version was not the character we know today. Instead, it was a 7-year-old boy named Kuromaru who traveled with a ninja dog companion named Manji, and Kuromaru's powers stemmed not from being a Jinchuriki, but from a performance-enhancing drug. His stats are as follows: Ninjutsu 5, Taijutsu 2, Genjutsu 3.5, Intelligence 4, Strength 2.5, Speed 3, Stamina 5, Hand Seals 4, for a total of 29. Due to the threat of Shikaku going on a rampage whenever he fell asleep, Gaara never really got a full night's sleep in the early parts of the series, so he was severely sleep deprived. In the earlier databooks, Gaara wanted to fight Sasuke the most, but in the later databooks, it says Gaara wants to fight anyone who presents a threat to his village. 14 things you didn't know about the Amegakur trio. The reason Yahiko took on the role as leader of the Akatsuki originally was because he wanted to protect Nagato from having that responsibility, although when he passed away, he couldn't protect Nagato from anything at that point. Nagato may have been named after a famous real-life ninja named Fujibayashi Nagato. According to Kishimoto, the reason why Pain has multiple piercings is as follows. He's an Akatsuki leader, so he has to look fairly cool, but I still wanted him to look dangerous. Since his name is Pain, I decided to add some piercings to his body, like he's the kind of guy who would inflict pain upon himself. According to the databooks, Conan is the only one out of the 3 that has official missions completed, with a total of 341, including 0 D rank, 65 C rank, 161 B rank, 85 A rank, and 30 S rank missions. They are the only members of the Akatsuki that were not technically considered missing nin. When they appeared during the Kazekage Rescue Mission anime arc, Nagato's Rinnegan were the wrong color. Yahiko's favorite hobby was fishing, Conan's favorite hobby was origami and flower pressing, and Nagato's favorite hobby was practicing ninjutsu for hours. While Yahiko's is not listed, according to the databooks, Conan's favorite food is flame-broiled fish and does not like karage, which is Japanese fried chicken. Meanwhile, Nagato likes grilled fish and stew and doesn't seem to dislike anything. When deciding on Nagato's pain design, Kishimoto went through a bunch of ideas that were ultimately discarded, some involving wearing a mask, wearing feathers, or wearing a forehead protector with attached horns. According to Kishimoto, Konan will never be brought back to life because her demise was so important that it symbolized the destruction of the dream of peace that Amegakure orphans shared and ushered pain towards his final, most heroic moment, and bringing her back to life would undo that significant moment. Both Konan and Yahiko share the birthday of February 20th, and both of them are Pisces and have an O blood type. According to the data books, Konan only wants to fight anyone who opposes God, equaling Pain/Nagato, while Nagato wants to fight anyone who threatens his friends. Nagato was possibly named after a warship that was built in the 1920s which was used to help protect withdrawing ships during the Pearl Harbor attacks. The kanji for Yahiko's name means complete or full and boy, Konan's name means small south, and Nagato's name means long-lasting gate. 14 things you didn't know about Tobirama Senju. Tobirama had the best sensory abilities in the entire series and could sense a person's chakra even if they were in a different country. He was responsible for creating the Ninja Academy, the Anbu Black Ops, and the Chunin exams. He was responsible for creating many legendary jutsu, including the Reanimation Jutsu, the Flying Thunder God Jutsu, and the Shadow Clone Jutsu. He can use every basic type of chakra release, including fire, water, wind, lightning, earth, yin, and yang. Many of his techniques, including the Reanimation Jutsu and the Shadow Clone Jutsu, were banned for being too dangerous. His favorite phrase is mind, technique, body. His first name, Tobirama, means the space between two doors, and his last name, Senju, means 1,000 hands. He had two other brothers besides Hashirama, being Kawarama and Itama, who both passed away at a young age on the battlefield. The Senju clan's symbol is based on Buddhism. His face has a special appearance in the filler episode of Naruto Shippuden episode 129 where he can be seen in the fireworks. In the dub, Tobirama is voiced by Peter Lurry in Part 1 and Jameson Price in Part 2. This is actually an inversion of Hashirama's voice. While Peter Lurry was playing Tobirama in Part 1, Jameson Price was playing Hashirama. In Part 2, the two switched roles. His favorite food is fish from the Konoha's rivers. His distrust of the Uchiha clan would cause later turmoil throughout the entire series. This is a fan theory, but some believe that he might be related to Kakashi and Jiraiya. 15 things you didn't know about the Sand Trio. The color of Kankuro's makeup is a symbol in the art of kabuki makeup. Purple symbolizes nobility and loftiness, which connects Kankuro with his lineage as the son and brother of two Kazekages. The Sand Trio, as well as most residents of Sunagakure, do not have surnames. According to the databooks, the person Temari wants to fight the most is to have a rematch with Shikamaru. The relationship between the three has drastically changed, as by the end of Shippuden, Temari and Kankuro have gone from being simultaneously terrified and protective of Gaara to having a more relaxed relationship with their younger brother as he became more gentle. We have already stated Gaara's stats, but Temari's stats are Ninjutsu 4, Taijutsu 2.5, Genjutsu 1.5, Intelligence 4, Strength 3.5, Speed 3, Stamina 3, Hand Seals 3, for a total of 24.5. And Kankuro's stats are Ninjutsu 4, Taijutsu 3, Genjutsu 2, Intelligence 3.5, Strength 3.5, Speed 2.5, Stamina 4, Hand Seals 4, for a total of 26.5. Temari taught Wind Release to Mirai and Shikadai. I have already stated Gaara's food preferences, but Temari's favorite food is sweet chestnuts and Kenshin soup, which is made with tofu and root vegetables, and she doesn't like seafood like squid or octopus. And Kankuro enjoys hamburger steak, but isn't into spinach. I have already stated Gaara's favorite phrase, but Temari's favorite phrase is sharpen your sickle at sunset, and Kankuro's favorite phrase is one must never miss a good opportunity. Temari's summoning animal is based off a yokai. Kamatari is based off the yokai Kamatachi, which is a weasel with extremely sharp claws. Kankuro's puppetry may be referencing bunraku, which is a traditional Japanese puppetry form. According to the databooks, Kankuro's desired opponent is anyone but Gaara. Temari's hobby is similar to Gaara's in the sense that his hobby is taking care of cactuses, while Temari's hobby is flora appreciation. Kankuro was likely named after a long line of kabuki actors, aka Nakamura Kankuro, which is a stage name inherited by multiple actors. All three Sand siblings have a wind-release chakra nature. I have already stated Gaara's mission stats, but Temari's mission stats are a total of 42, including 0 D rank, 9 C rank, 12 B rank, 20 A rank, and 1 S rank, and Kankuro's total is 43, with 0 D rank, 9 C rank, 10 B rank, 23 A rank, and 1 S rank. 15 things you didn't know about Madara Uchiha. He could use 10 different forms of nature release, including fire release, wind release, lightning release, earth release, and water release, as well as yin release, yang release, yin yang release, storm release, and wood release. He had 5 Kekkei Genkai and 1 Kekkei Mora, including the Sharingan, the Eternal Mangekyo Sharingan, the Rinnegan, Storm Release, and Wood Release, as well as the Kekkei Mora being the Rinne Sharingan. He was the one that named their village the village hidden in the leaves in reference to the abundant greenery that surrounded the area. He was originally supposed to be the first Hokage, as this is what Hashirama wanted, but Tobirama did not like this idea and suggested that it would be an election instead, and this led to Hashirama becoming the first Hokage. According to Kishimoto during an interview in 2012, he stated that Madara has no weaknesses at all, stating all strong people have some kind of weak point, but Madara does not. His favorite phrase was armor-sleeved, single hit, in a poetic way describing defeating someone with one devastating strike. Madara's brother Izuna's favorite hobby was listed as training with Madara. While Izuna is the most known, Madara actually had 3 other younger brothers who passed away at a young age. Surprisingly, according to the databooks, Hashirama is not listed as Madara's desired opponent. Madara's desired opponent is a little bit broader in that he said he wanted to fight the upper-class Konoha ninja. Madara's favorite hobby was falconry. One of the main reasons Kishimoto created the Edo Tensei Jutsu was to bring back Madara so he could be a final villain. The translation for Madara's name is spots or speckles. Kishimoto wanted to make Madara different than the other villains. For example, most of the villains in Naruto, notably like Pain, were defeated less by straight combat and more through the words of the protagonist. Hence why he created Madara, who was a villain who could not be defeated by words alone. In an accidental oversight, the databooks do not list Madara as being able to use Senjutsu, even though he can clearly use this, such as Sage Art Yin Release, Lightning Dispatch, and Sage Art Storm Release, Light Fang. His favorite food is inari zushi, which is pouches of tofu filled with rice. Meanwhile, his least favorite food is fish roe. 14 things you didn't know about Kurama. The reason he hated humans was kind of justified initially due to the fact that he was either A, treated like a terrifying menace who had to be contained, or B, like a tool to be used for a human's benefit. He has 2 chakra natures, being fire release and wind release. People tend to underestimate how strong Kurama really is, as at one point he defeated 5-tailed beasts at once by himself at half power. He is the only tailed beast known so far to be wrapped in Susanoo. He altered Naruto's DNA. As we all know, Naruto has whiskers and he was born with these whiskers. Meanwhile, his mother was not born with these whiskers. The reasoning being was the fact that his mother was the Jinchuriki of Kurama at the time, therefore altering his DNA to have whiskers just like Kurama. Also, similarly, Boruto and Himawari also have these whiskers, as Naruto is the Jinchuriki. He has the power to sense negative emotions. Mito Uzumaki, Hashirama's wife, was his first Jinchuriki. He is afraid of Himawari due to the fact that when she awakened her Byakugan, she accidentally knocks out both Naruto and Kurama with the gentle fist technique. For most of the series, he is only half alive due to the fact that half of him was sealed inside of Naruto and the other half was sealed inside of Minato, who was dead. His name might be inspired by Mount Kurama, a sacred mountain in Japan. He is based on the mythological Japanese folklore creature known as the Kitsune, which is a golden fox. In the original Naruto pilot, he was actually Naruto's father instead of being sealed inside of him. Him, along with the other Jinchurikis, were made into stuffed animals in Boruto. He had to be sealed into the Geromazo statue last due to the fact that each of the tailed beasts had to go in order of being sealed, 1 through 9. 15 things you didn't know about Kakashi Hatake. He has completed a grand total of 1,141 missions, including 197 D rank, 190 C rank, 414 B rank, 298 A rank, and 42 S rank missions. He became a Chunin at only 6 years old. Despite technically being retired, he still takes on missions and investigates problems of the village on his own. Kakashi harbors some guilt for the Uchiha massacre due to the fact that prior to Itachi massacring the clan, he was Itachi's mentor during the Anbu Black Ops. Even though he didn't debut his Mangekyo Sharingan until the battle with Deidara, technically he had it much sooner, as his activated at the same time Obito's did when Kakashi was forced to take Rin's life. The short blade he used when he was younger was called the White Light Chakra Saber, and it was a treasure of the Hatake clan. According to the databooks, the person he wanted to fight the most was his mentor, Minato Namikaze. Kakashi's name means scarecrow in the farmland. His favorite food is salt-broiled sour, which is a type of fish, and miso soup with eggplant, and he dislikes anything sweet or fried. Originally, Kakashi was intended to appear as a samurai, not a ninja. His mask hides a small facial mole. Kishimoto has claimed that if Naruto were to ever receive another spin-off, his first choice for a protagonist would be Kakashi. In the first draft of Naruto, Kakashi would always end every sentence with "de gozaru." Despite his kind of serious and mature nature, he is kind of a perv. His favorite word is teamwork. 17 things you didn't know about Sasuke Uchiha. He has cross-dominant hands. He is known as the Shadow Hokage. Kakashi finds him boring to teach. Kishimoto's editor is responsible for Sasuke's existence, as Kishimoto originally wasn't going to have Naruto have a rival. He was named after a great shinobi from actual Japanese folklore named Sasuke Sarutobi. He was based on Kishimoto's twin brother, who was also a manga artist. Even though he was considered a genius, Sasuke's grades in the Ninja Academy were very divided and as follows. He got a C in positivity and an F in cooperation, but an A in ninjutsu, genjutsu, and taijutsu. The relationship between Sasuke and Boruto is based off the Dragon Ball Z relationship of Piccolo and Gohan. According to the databooks, his two favorite hobbies are training and taking walks. According to the Boruto databooks, his stats are as follows: 200 in chakra, 165 in perception and dexterity, 142 in negotiations, 130 in strength, and 100 in intelligence, as well as 5 out of 5 stars in acrobatics, 5 out of 5 in hand-to-hand combat, and 4 out of 5 in ninjutsu. He didn't actually attend Naruto and Hinata's wedding, he just sent a note that said congratulations. During an interview, it was revealed that the Japanese voice actors for Naruto, Sasuke, and Sakura were given a heads up even before the anime even started airing that Sakura and Sasuke would eventually end up together. Kishimoto based Sasuke's design on Hiei from Yu Yu Hakusho. Since he left the village at an early age, he has completed a very few number of official missions, including 7 D rank, 1 C rank, 2 B rank, 6 A rank, and 0 S rank missions. In an interview, Kishimoto has stated that Sasuke is his favorite character to draw. His favorite food is tomatoes on top of rice balls alongside okaka, which is fermented, dried, and smoked skipjack tuna, and his least favorite foods are natto, which is fermented soybeans, and anything sweet. In his original design for Boruto, he had wavy hair. 15 things you didn't know about Rock Lee. His injury was based off one that Bruce Lee suffered. In 1970, Bruce Lee suffered a back injury that damaged his sacral nerve, in which he was told that he would have to give up his martial arts career, but he was able to recover and continue. In unison to that, Rock Lee is based off of Bruce Lee, and that they have the same birthday of November 27th, have similar hairstyle, and the fact that Rock Lee's Part 1 uniform bears some resemblance to Bruce Lee's costume in the 1973 film Game of Death. The rock part of his name is a musical reference, similar to the fact that the metal part of Metal Lee's name is the metal genre. His stats make him look weaker than he actually is. His total stats are 22, which is relatively low, but his taijutsu skill is so on point that it makes up for it. In total, his stats are ninjutsu 0.5, taijutsu 5, genjutsu 1, intelligence 2, strength 4.5, speed 4.5, stamina 3.5, hand seals 1. Rock Lee is one of Kishimoto's favorite characters to draw. According to the databooks, the people that he wants to fight the most are Neji, Gaara, and Sasuke. His favorite words are endeavor, guts, and love. He pretty much likes all food, but his favorite foods are medium spicy curry rice and curry pilaf. Nobody knows officially who the mother of his son is, although most people speculate that it is Tenten. He has completed very few official missions, including 25 D rank, 21 C rank, 4 B rank, 10 A rank, and 1 S rank missions. He doesn't have any hobbies. He would much rather spend his downtime training constantly. According to Kishimoto, he wanted Sakura and Rock Lee to have something in common in the sense that they both represent human weakness. He is the star of his own comedy spin-off series called Rock Lee and His Ninja Pals. Even though it is not really given that much depth, technically Rock Lee is part of a clan called the Lee Clan. His nickname is the Leaf Village's Noble Savage. 15 things you didn't know about Tsunade. She graduated the Ninja Academy at 6 years old. She has completed a total of 1,256 missions, including 40 D rank, 236 C rank, 467 B rank, 418 A rank, and 95 S rank missions. She was mentioned by Tenten 55 chapters before her debut. Due to the use of her Creation Rebirth Jutsu, which shortens her lifespan, she will probably die a lot sooner than she actually should. She is the person responsible for ensuring that Medical Ninja would always be present during major battles to limit casualties. She is the only Hokage to have met and seen every single generation of Hokage. Similar to the other Sannin, her character is based off Japanese folklore. She is debatably the most powerful female in the entire series, with her stats being Ninjutsu 5, Taijutsu 5, Genjutsu 3.5, Intelligence 5, Strength 5, Speed 3.5, Stamina 4, and Hand Seals 4 for a total of 35. Her name means mooring rope. According to the databooks, the person that she wants to fight the most is Naruto. She got her gambling habit from Hashirama. During an interview, Kishimoto once stated that if he were to have a poster of one character in his bedroom, it would be Tsunade. Her favorite food is chicken breast and sake, and her least favorite food is liver sashimi. Her favorite phrase is "one grab, 1,000 gold," which is a reference to getting rich quick. In the English dub, she has two different voice actors in the sense that Debbie Mae West dubs her in the anime, but in the game she is sometimes voiced by Mary Elizabeth McGlenn. 15 things you didn't know about Hashirama Senju. His chakra reserves are on par with Naruto. His name means the space between two pillars and 1,000 hands. He at one point captured every single tailed beast except for the one tail. He had two grandchildren being Tsunade and Nawaki, but nobody knows who his children are. According to the databooks, it states that he passed away during battle, but no one officially knows how he died. His favorite phrases are "the vast lands fertile" and "heaven's garments are without seams." His hobbies are bonsai and wood sculpting. The Hokage Rock was his idea. It was his idea to split the tailed beasts up between the different nations. He was a very avid gambler. Long before Orochimaru tried to do it, Konoha itself sanctioned attempts to replicate wood release, but ended up banning all efforts when it proved too dangerous. Unsurprisingly, according to the databooks, his most desired opponent was Madara. His face appears in a brief cameo at the end of Naruto Shippuden episode 129 in the fireworks. His favorite food was mixed mushroom soup. Between the English dub and the Japanese sub, he was voiced by 6 different voice actors. 16 things you didn't know about Itachi Uchiha. He was very proficient at performing jutsu with one-handed seals. He has the second highest scores in Ninja Academy history after Minato. He is tied with Jiraiya for the highest stats in the Naruto series. He is Kishimoto's favorite Akatsuki member. His favorite hobby is trying out traditional Japanese cafes. In one of the novels, it is stated that he refuses to kill sets of brothers. When he was a kid, he had a rival named Tenma Izumo and was a member of Itachi's original Genin team. During one of the spin-off novels, he does battle several times with a local drug cartel in an effort to get a drug that will hold off his terminal illness. His favorite foods include cabbage and onigiri with seaweed and dango, and his least favorite food is steak. During one of the spin-off novels, we find out that Itachi's childhood was very traumatic. At age 4, he was caught in the middle of a war zone, and he tried to give a wounded enemy soldier some water, but was forced to take the soldier's life instead. He had a secret lover, which was Izumi Uchiha. There is a weird spin-off OVA where Itachi tries to cook the perfect eggs for Sasuke. A little-known fact is that Kisame was not Itachi's first partner in the Akatsuki, it was actually Juzo Biwa, a former member of the Seven Swordsmen of the Mist. His name means weasel. He's responsible for Naruto taking a life. His original design was wildly different. At first, Itachi was supposed to be a lead of a group of 70+ called the Itachi Squad, who carried out secret missions that strongly resembled those that Root is responsible for in the actual series. What's more, Itachi's chin was decorated with an X-shaped scar. These attributes were later given